Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of The First Watch here in our Floros campaign. Super excited to be welcoming you all back to the story. My name is Andrew Coons. I'm the DM for our adventures. We're going to popcorn it around and introduce ourselves, minus one Dana playing Artemis, the Aasimar wizard slash something that you'll find out, as she is not feeling well and not able to be with us tonight. So we will we'll miss her and look forward to her return. Yeah, I know, I'm just dropping breadcrumbs. Let's pop it over to Joe. Let's do Joe, yes.
I'm Joe, and I was muted. Hello, I am Joe, and I'm playing Malachite, the Earth Genasi Artificer. Yes, thank you. Yeah, got it.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute. Let's go to Darby.
Hi, my name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet, and I am playing your lovable, only an artificer, definitely not a ranger peony, and Cheryl accompanying pet Podell companion. And I'll throw it to Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Cheryl playing Pry, the Tiefling Rogue, and I will pass it to Blake.
Well, hey, yo, I'm Blake. I'm playing Groka Starkbringer, the Dwarf Cleric. And I guess, who else can I pass it to? Okay, I guess it's going to have to be Casey.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Casey. I'm playing Uranus, the half-elf bard, warlock. Lots of halves in there, so.
We are an amalgamation of different things, as any good party should be. All right, well, we've got a lot to get into as the party is in the thick of some mystery and some exploration and some dangerous contracts that they've signed. So without any further ado, let's roll that intro sequence for the first watch. The Balancers have found themselves in the midst of a mystery and a dwarven mine with many different offshoots to discover. Having signed a contract with a very dangerous man named Elixio, part of the Three Blades organization, and a secondary contract in order to hopefully save the soul of one of the party members. Where you've landed is in a position where you have just under a month in order to reconstruct a long dormant dwarven construct with the dwarven forge that is in the mine. At the same time, you have forged an alliance with Realm Shield, the local monster hunters guild, and proved yourselves worthy of their friendship, and started to create other alliances around the place, including Daisy May, your companion, who herself has worked her way into the Three Blades as one of the lieutenants and is a bit of a sleeper agent for you at the moment. So where we left off last time, after a harrowing battle with a whole bunch of ropers and other cave-dwelling creatures, you all came back to Realm Shield and crashed there to regain your health and your stamina. And we open the scene today with the break of dawn as the light begins to stream through the kind of large, almost Viking Hall style building that Realm Shield resides in. And one by one, you all begin to groggily come awake and stir. Grocus, you're usually the first one up in situations
I was
like
gonna say,
this.
yeah.
What are you doing this
I'm
morning?
not
Are you
groggy.
any preparations before the rest of the party awakes?
Well, I would get the who had the armor? Did we put it in a bag? What did we like? Who?
We just pushed everything into the bag. Petey's bag of holding, just like, and push the corpse in.
Yes, the bones of the dwarven warrior, complete with armor, that you shoved into the bag of
It's
holding.
a good thing she can name all the bones in the body. Probably.
Probably. We got this here. So yes, I would make sure it's go and check on everyone, make sure everyone's still there. You know what I mean? The little tape on the door, make sure they didn't get broken. I didn't do that, but next time I will. So yep, I'll just go through, just checking everyone, get it, make sure everyone's doing okay. Of course, starting with the prayer first, like always, to start with like a nice little prayer to Enor. Just ask for guidance and balance, and just kind of let us enjoy the day to day. But yeah, but then I'll go to Peenie's room, and yeah.
Okay.
And so I'll knock.
Just hear like scrambling and like crashing. I think Peony is one of those people who like sleeps and then gets tangled up in the sheets because she thrashes in her sleep now that she's on flat surface on a bed. You see like hair messed up, like open door.
Good morning. I was just wondering if, well, I'm glad you're awake, if you had the bag and if you want to, but I'll come back later.
Give me 5 minutes and I'll be right down. Just shuts door.
Yes, okay, yeah, yes. These youngins so used to sleeping in, back in my day, we'd all wake up early before the dawn and
walk to school uphill both ways in the snow.
Both ways, twice, 3 times actually, because sometimes you had to go home for lunch. We didn't have lunches at school, so to walk back and then go back again.
They didn't have school meals. You didn't bring Dunkaroos with you and just eat those. I was too young for Dunkaroos.
Then I'll go check on we'll go, hopefully everyone will be awake, so probably
what are the rest of you doing as you start to stir and wake?
Uranus is looking for Azure, if he can find her anywhere.
Okay. You come out and you see Grocus kind of putzing about, and you see a couple other Realm Shield members who are just starting to wake up. You don't see Azure yet. You do know where her room is, but yeah.
Morning, lad. I don't know if did I see him or like you just saw me.
Yeah, you probably would have seen each other. It's not a kind of big open area.
Morning. Everybody's still here, I think. So
oh, I know.
I know.
I mean, oh yes. No, I know you guys are all stay inside. I don't worry about it or think about it or put tapes on people's doors. Like that's no.
I saw your shadow.
That could have been any other door. I mean, not the only dwarf, so there could have been.
I'm just gonna clap him on the back and go sit down and look for breakfast then, and wait for Azure.
Pride Malachite.
Oh, lad. Well, I have you though. Can I have your Can you shut up? There's no shadow that you know. Uranus, could you do me a favor? I'm gonna put like a little quill on a piece of paper. Do you mind just like this? Not like this isn't a deal or anything, but can you just sign your name? A little tricky though. I pull like another book because I think we have one that has like the dwarvish alphabet, or I wrote it myself. Could you sign your name on here? I'm in dwarvish. Like here's the alphabet. Here's the regulated to common. If you
sure. What is this for?
I'll explain when we get the whole group together. I will explain that, I promise. Like I said, no blood, just like a regular signature. Nothing. I'm not
I'm
saying
not
no.
signing my
different.
soul away to you or anything.
To NR, but that's a different thing. So no. This is like
Okay,
no.
I trust you, and he's gonna sign his name in Dwarvish.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
You do
I
see.
said I will explain when we get the whole group. I will explain everything.
As you're doing this, Uranus, you do see at one point you're kind of like checking back and forth between the letters, and movement catches your eye, and you see Azure coming out of her room, but she like opens the door and like slides out and like closes it behind her real quick.
Hey, he's gonna hand the thing back to Grokus. Morning, Andrew. How'd you sleep?
Good morning. I slept very, very well. How are all of you?
I'm good. Have you seen Artemis? I haven't seen her this morning yet.
Roll an insight check.
What do you mean? Is she missing? What do you mean? I could have sworn she was in a room. Is she missing?
Insight. Oh, fuck. That's only a 5 on the die, so I think that's just 10. God damn it.
10. Okay.
Gross is breaking out like.
Yeah, 10.
Let me roll.
I'm going to knock on her door because I'm thinking she's missing. Grokus is beelining it to the Artemis's door.
You knock on Artemis's door and you do not get any reply. However, for you, Uranus, it's tough with scaled creatures because the blood works different. But if she could blush, her cheeks turn with purple scales. Her cheeks turn a nice purpley color, or with blue scales, they turn a nice purpley color as blood rushes to the face, and she just got not seen her, no, and then like just bustles over and grabs food and sits down and starts shoveling in her mouth.
Uranus is gonna follow her and say, yeah, so I'll keep your secret if you help me out with something.
I have no secrets to keep. What is it you want help with?
Yeah. I was just wondering if I could train with you a little bit. I mean, I have this new sword and stuff, and you know, I just wanted to get better with it.
Certainly, I can run you through some drills. May I see the blade?
Hands the scimitar.
Kind of takes it and see her spin it in her hand, and then kind of swing it a couple times. She's like, not my style, but beautifully balanced weapon. Yes, we can run you through some techniques.
Yeah. Whenever you get a chance, let me know.
I'm going to finish my breakfast first.
I kicked down the door. I kicked down the door. Artemis,
you kick the
I
door.
was imagining that happening in the background of the conversation. That like.
You kick the door and it's not locked, so it goes bang and like swings open real hard, and then you just hear "Hey!" and like look over, and Azure is like half stood up, pointing. He's like, "Don't be kicking doors in my house. What are you doing?"
Artemis, she's missing. Does anyone know where Artemis is?
She went out.
She's not in her room.
She went out for pastries.
For pastries? What?
He kicks open the door. What's happening? Like bow half strong. Like
I saw her go out.
Pry and Malachite, if you're not up already, you just heard a loud bang and yelling.
Oh no!
Yeah, I pop out into the hall to see what's going on.
Pry is still like trying to tie her hair back. Yeah.
How did you just see her? You just asked Azure where she was. How did you just see her? What do you mean?
In the like between the time when I asked and when I was talking to Azure, she slipped out. It was really quick.
It's a very early morning, very groggy. Don't kick my doors.
Casting sending to Artemis. Artemis, you okay? They said that you're just getting pastries, but I just wanted to check in, like awkward, like get to 25 words, and some like, you know, we'll cut off mid sentence. Like just checking in if you're okay.
She replies immediately, and you just hear Crocus, I'm fine. Space. Give me space. It's barely done.
Rollins is gonna use message and whisper, "Go get pastries." Go out the window.
You just hear
to Artemis.
you just hear a reply that just says, "Thank you."
Okay, she's fine, everyone. She's fine.
Meanwhile, there's
I
already
reacted.
a pile of pastries on one of the tables somehow.
What the?
Yeah, you all do kind of
Genius
like the camera
already.
kind of like shifts over, and all of a sudden Azure's going, "Oh, where did these come from?" And kind of lifts up this cloth, and underneath there's a pile about yay high of various pastries there.
Ooh, Petey. Save some. Save some. I know it shouldn't happen, but come on, save a couple.
So what are we getting into this morning?
When Artemis gets back, because like I said, whatever to be there, because like open communication. I think we're going to talk to once Peony stops eating all of the pastries, we can maybe converse with the dwarf that we found. Speak the dead.
We'll say for the sake of expediency, since Dana is not here to go on a little pastry adventure, we'll say in the next 10 minutes or so, Artemis returns. She's got pastries in a bag, and she just kind of like sets them down and like sits down at the complete opposite end of the table from Azure, like across the way too, like just as far away as she can be, and then just starts eating and drinking coffee.
Awesome. Thank you for getting those pastries. Definitely appreciate it.
You're
Although
welcome.
my gut does not, but all right. So the only thing I had a couple things, so I wanted to do that, and then one other thing after we speak. But does anyone have any? I don't know what I want to even ask. I mean, I feel like I have so many, but I don't know. We can only be a couple things. So, what do you guys think we should ask?
Why he was down there, for one. Like, what was he protecting, I guess?
Maybe what was, because I'm curious where he falls, or where they fall on the line of the timeline for the dwarves going missing. I wonder if we could try and ask something related to time.
Just asking maybe what day it was. I mean, because I feel like that's
what
unreasonable.
year it
What
was.
year? What year?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. What year? It was Tuesday. Oh, thanks.
You like, well, I don't know. What's a week?
So we're asking what year, what happened. I think Uranus 2 said. Okay, so we had 3 more questions. If anyone has any, Malachi, is there anything you can think to ask?
What did you come up with so far?
What year it was, and then what happened? What may have caused this?
What were they doing down in the cave?
Good. Okay, we're down the cave. So we got 3.
What else is down there? Because like, yeah, they must have dug that tunnel for something. Yeah, like how far? Maybe I guess what was the original tunnel for? Maybe they just happened to bisect a cave while they were digging down.
Because it went on farther, right? Because it went on farther.
Yeah.
We saw correctly. Okay.
We just stopped at like a hole. Maybe these tunnels connected somewhere that he was guarding an entrance, and over time it closed up.
Yeah, and the ropers must have come after, because they wouldn't just leave. I mean, I assume there'd be less if the ropers.
Well, I guess we'll find out from the what happened to you part.
Okay.
And then we could have a periphery question.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing wrong with having a follow-up. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What year was it? What were you doing down there? What's the tunnel for? What is the purpose of, why dig? Why down? Why?
Yeah, should we ask if he knows what's deeper?
What's deeper? What is below?
And then maybe we can if you have a spare question, maybe to ask his family name or his name. Maybe if there's something we can leave him or something. I mean, I know it's kind of a waste of a question. I understand, but
you just ask again in 10 days. Like, it's no biggie.
True. Ask for what?
Should we
Who's
ask if
teaching
he
you
knows
Brobat?
Brobat?
You don't. I mean, honestly, that's not a bad.
If you are going to ask that, use his full name. So yeah, because maybe even if this person does not know Brobat, perhaps they know one of his relatives.
What's his full name?
Brobat.
Great brew.
Great Brew. Yeah.
Great Brew.
Yeah.
That is a great question we got. Yeah.
We got a great stuff brewing up here.
And then Peony, you're right. I can always ask for the name 10 days from now. So that's
Exactly. We got, as long as we keep coming back every 10 days, we'll just keep the skull in one of our bags. That's a totally normal thing to keep in the bag,
or
right?
maybe I can make like a little resting place or so. I don't know.
Just carry
I'll
it
figure
on
it out
your
later,
hip
that's fine.
like the dude from God of War. It just
Oh
talks to you
gosh.
all the time.
Okay.
Or like Pate de Rolo, the mouse puppet thing.
Yep.
Cuckoo.
It just feels wrong to not have like a resting place, you know. It just feels kind of just to be just so far away from everything. But I'll figure it out. So I'm gonna Asher, is it possible to kind of maybe close the lights a little bit? I'm gonna get some candles and start burning a little bit of incense, if that's okay.
Very well. And she kind of makes a motion, and they kind of cover up some of the windows with cloth and pull the curtain on the door. There's a lot of open doors in this place, especially the main entrance. Like there's no door per se, but there are these big cloths that kind of come over and shield most of the light out.
Oh, Asher, I'm so rude. Is it okay if we speak to someone who may have passed? Is that okay?
Oh no, I got that from listening in.
Yeah.
Yes, as long as you don't, summon an army of dead skeletons. Although it could be fun too. So yeah, go for it. Something
okay, no.
Which
Just,
has to kick first thing in the morning.
No. Fair enough. So I carefully take out the pieces out of the bag, just like digging around, like, Peony, what did you get? What the? Okay. Not gonna ask. Okay. There's a leg bone. Okay, there we go.
Full ear bones, phalanges, spine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just like
Peony, we really gotta clean that thing out. There's yes.
What? Why name everything? She's gonna turn the bag inside out. It will just dump everything out.
Oh no! Don't. Okay, I mean, okay.
Everything comes spilling out. Yeah, everything in that bag, whatever you've got in there, just comes dumping on the table, and it certainly rolls off the table and clangs. I mean, various tools and weapons and supplies and food and.
Yeah. You have a little bit of tact and put it on the ground before she turned it inside out.
Okay, spills out over the ground.
It's already on the floor.
Asher, I will definitely make sure to clean that up. That won't be there for a long time.
Starting to scoop stuff back in. That's like, oh, these are gear cogs. Here's like a crocodile skull or something. I don't know.
Right, and then I start to light some candles and burn some incense, kind of just humming an old tune. I'm very tone deaf, but just an old tune that I used to remember from a while ago. All right, is everyone ready?
Yeah.
All right, so then I just kind of go up to it. Hello, whatever your name is. We come to you to just ask a few questions. We hope that you pass on to where you need to go. Hope that your passing wasn't. Hopefully was quick and you were able to get to where you need to be. But if you would be so gracious, we do have a couple of questions that may help the future and maybe help other dwarves as well. So if you would please answer just a few questions for us.
Grokus, what did we say your spell casting ability was going to be? Because we made a small amendment just based on the backstory.
It'd be
was it intelligence?
It's going to be like wisdom based. It was it'll be because I'm wisdom based and religion's always intelligence. So I'm like, but
that's right. We had religion move over wisdom. Yeah. In that case, go ahead and roll a religion check for me.
Can I cast guidance on myself? Or always roll so bad.
I'll say no because you're in the process of casting.
Okay.
Speak with.
True.
Can I give him bardic inspiration?
That you could do.
Can I
Yes.
do some mood music?
So that's going to be a D.
It's a D6.
I rolled good, so I'm going to add it because you know what? Why take chances? Dang, that is a 27.
27. Okay. In this moment, as you kind of lay the skeleton out before you, you know that this is pushing the boundaries just a little bit of how this magic works, because there's no mouth per se. There's a skull, but hard to form words without lips or anything like that. However, the fervor of your prayer is strong enough that all of a sudden you see almost like this swirl of dust in the air, sort of like those little particles that you see against the light, as if they're starting to tornado, and they kind of center over top of the body, and then disappear into the chest. And you watch as the bones rattle ever so slightly as this air, this presence, courses its way through the skeleton, and then the head just ever so slightly tilts up on the neck joint and turns, and there's empty eye sockets, but the mouth opens ever so slightly, and you just hear. You may ask your questions.
Thank you so much for being here. Questions. Grogus is kind of struggling for trying to remember. What was he? I'm sorry. This is What did we want to?
What year was it when you died?
Yes. What year was it? And I'll ask in Dwarvish if that helps. I don't know what. So, what year were you felled?
He replies in Dwarvish, in a dialect that is a little more antiquated. Think like these and thous in terms of English, and what we would understand, but it's antiquated dialect. But he replies and says, "The year 702.
702.
It is currently
What year is it now?
the year 1031.
Would it sound antiquated to me? Would it still be antiquated, or would I have like a inkling of like what that?
It's a little more formal than how you speak now. Some of the books you read in Dwarvish kind of speak in this manner. You recognize it as being older, but at the same time, it's still an old language. Yeah.
What year did the dwarves disappear around?
So that
It was around 300 years ago,
roughly
right?
300 years
And
ago.
this
Yeah.
that's 319 years ago. Yeah. Yeah.
Sick. Smaller.
All right, so that was the what was the so what do you want to ask? What should we ask? What happened to him?
Yeah. How did he die?
If you don't mind us asking him, how did you end up passing?
I was attacked and succumbed to my wounds in the mines. I bled out.
So he said that he was attacked and he bled out. I want to ask.
Do we want to ask by what?
Attacked
Yeah.
by what? Yeah.
So is that okay if I ask that, you guys? Is that okay if I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in Dwarves again. So attacked by what, or what stabbed you?
Not stabbed.
Yeah.
Clawed by my own brother in arms.
So he was clawed by another dwarf, which I think goes along with what we've learned. So,
Yeah.
And you say that you said brother at arms specifically, so there was a contingent of them, right? So maybe now is the time to ask why they were stationed here.
yes, and that'd be 4, right? Yes, that'd be 4.
Yeah.
I feel so bad not getting his name, but why were you guys? Why were you stationed down there?
While the machine was being built, our people were turning. Those who could not control their impulses became feral and dangerous. We had no desire to kill any of our own kin, but the safety of the machine was paramount.
We could ask him what it does.
What does the machine do?
I didn't say anything yet. I did not transcribe that yet. You wait.
Sorry.
Wait.
Oh, but no, Peony can't hear it
Peony, yeah,
because it
Peony,
is just
yeah.
spectral that only
So Peony's
Brocus
probably
can hear.
saying it. Yeah.
Peony can't hear it.
Oh, it's only I can hear it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think
So,
that's the case. I think
isn't
you're
it?
the only one who
I
can ask
think
questions.
everyone can
of
hear.
it. Yeah, everybody
But
can hear.
everyone
it.
can hear.
We can hear it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
For those
Then
of you who don't
Peony
speak
understood.
Dwarvish, it just yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
true.
but like,
Yeah.
has Peony ever spoken it, or do you just
I
read
think
it?
That's true.
I think we spoke it to get. Did you?
Have you ever seen like where like kids like read, like learn how to read and then they have their own pronunciation of words?
Yeah.
Like I think Peony understands some of it, but like
I would say
if
you're
she
not
talks, it
fluent
sounds
enough to
weird.
get everything.
Yeah.
In terms of like,
Or she
it's-
or Peony
plus
thinks
the
that
dialect.
Peony thinks that he's saying it wrong. Peony's like
Yeah.
he's saying all those words incorrectly.
Yeah, and she's like, that accent is weird. It's pronounced champagne, like not champagne, like stuff like that.
And so
it's
then I
pronounced
will
champagne,
definitely
but it's spelled
relay. So
PAIN.
How many questions do we have left?
there's one more, and then 10
more.
days. So it's one more, but we have
We-
10 more days.
We
and
need to
then-
know what the machine
so-
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I was
he
gonna
says
say,
that he wanna
we wanna
machine-
know
Unless
what the
they're
machine
talking
does,
about-
or what's
maybe-
deeper.
Maybe he's talking about the drill and he
That's
was
what I was kinda
guarding the
thinking.
drill as it went down because it probably didn't go down super fast. So maybe as it was going down, they were stationed at different places to guard it.
And it's weird because if we know what happened when they dug super deep. So why would they still be? It might be something different because why would you still be guarding it if you know what happened if you dug that deep and then what afflicted them?
Didn't we assume that they were digging to put everyone at the bottom of the hole?
Oh, that's
And there
You
was
could-
probably
Yes,
people who
yes.
wanted to stop that. So they were probably stationed to stop them from interfering with the machine. Maybe that's what it is, but we don't have to assume. We can ask and then wait 10 days.
so. Should I ask what the machine was for? I guess would that be a good way to ask like what it was?
Peony raises a good question though. Like, if the vampires were going feral, why would they be endangering the machine? Does he mean the machine operators, or were they actually attacking the machine?
What about the machine needed to be guarded? Maybe?
So why did the machine need to be guarded? Is that the
Mhm. Something like
I
that.
still feel like we need to know what the machine is because I mean it's all
That
up,
might-
it's
True.
it's there in the cave. It didn't all go down.
Well, that's the construction, isn't it? That the
we
forge
never
that we
we
were,
never
that's
yeah,
the
we never saw
construction.
like we,
The
we never actually
molds
saw
for
the
it.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
assembly
yeah.
line. This is the descent it made. So
did we get it when I read? Did we get what it was when they did the
The
reading
drill.
right? Yeah, because we read it
they
right.
built,
That's how
they
we
built
knew
a
what
great
it
drill,
built.
and
Yeah.
you made the
Okay.
inference that
Okay.
that's what the machine, the forge
Okay.
up top was building.
Okay.
So then asking. So were we all together to ask why it was?
why did it need to be guarded?
Okay.
Maybe because then that'll give us a clear answer if like people maybe they were trying a subsection that was trying to sabotage it. Maybe it's just that people were going feral and just attacking whatever was there, including a machine.
All right. So I will All right, brother, why? Wait, so I'm asking, hold on, make sure you're right. Asking why they're protecting it. Okay. Um, why were you protecting the machine?
The construction and enchantment of the Great Drill was time-consuming. And while my brothers worked on it, the infected continued to look for them. We bought them as much time to construct it as we could. If only I hadn't fallen so soon. And then you just hear, and you see, like, that same wind that kind of came into it disperses and, like, kicks up the dust off to either side of the skeleton. And the head, which had lifted ever so slightly, clacks back to the table.
I say a quick prayer to Enor and Dwarf, just saying you did everything you could. You can rest, although I will talk to you again. I do want to get your name because everyone deserves to be remembered. So rest easy for now, and thank you. So it's like Peony, you were correct. They were being attacked by the ones that had been turned. So they had to fend them off as long as they could to finish the drill, and we know that they were successful, at least, as otherwise they'd be out and about. At least we think that they were successful. I mean,
that makes me wonder if that guy was killed, then that means that creature, vampire, whatever you want to call it, won.
No, there's more though. It wasn't just them. There was a group. So he was killed, but
he doesn't know anything that would have passed his life. So maybe he doesn't know that they succeeded. The last thing he remembers is dying.
I'm just wishful thinking, just hoping, praying that they did. I mean, because otherwise, I feel like
if they didn't, he's surrounded by vampires, right? They must have succeeded.
Unless they're hiding somewhere, which, I mean, we think we know one is hiding, so.
I have a weird question, though. We have sort of been just blithely accepting the existence of this drill, but all of this is backwards. Like, we had to go down this massive tunnel in order to find the place where this drill was constructed. And this person who died before the drill was finished was even farther down than the room where the drill was being made.
Well, how far does the tunnel go down? Because maybe this was just natural digging that they then just used because it was already deeper. Does that make sense?
We saw it was kind of natural, right? The cavalry saw was more like
that one was, but the tunnel leading to it wasn't, and all of like the big central shaft that like has all the ropes
there
and
enough going
whatever.
back up and forth. There's a consistency to the entire shaft from the top level that is, you know, I mean, it's not like smooth, but it's very consistent all the way down. If it was naturally occurring, you'd expect rocks jutting out. You'd expect some variation.
But maybe they had
maybe they already dug down, because like the part we found the forge was built, right?
Yes.
Like that was just naturally part of like the structure that they had already had, and then as they like were naturally digging, then they're like, shit, we gotta bury ourselves, like let's put the drill already where it's deep and just go further down with this drill.
Can we read the book to kind of can we read the book really quickly? Would that give us more of the answers? If like I flip through the journal from Arno, so that kind of clears it up a little bit.
Make an investigation check.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself as I look through. Artemis, can I borrow your spellbook, please?
She hands it over.
Can someone help him? Or oh no, I guess it's in dwarvish.
We'll get
Peony can help, right?
Peony can help.
Oh yes,
Peony will. I will help you.
Inspiration, guidance, help. Yep, all the things.
So what is?
He's like,
what is
Grandpa, this word, like
a D4 and a D6.
What am I rolling though? I'm sorry. What am I rolling? Investigation. Okay. Let's get my hold on. Sorry. Okay. Investigation. Who's plus 0? Okay, plus a D6, right, Piranhas?
Yeah.
Oh, it's advantage, so let me Roll that again. And a D6. Okay. And then
a D4.
Okay, so it's 17. Right. So 18.
18 total. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And remind me, what exactly are you searching for?
Oh, just trying to clear it up to see when the drill was made. Because I mean, if we went down the whole shaft, it was being built after it, so they had to have been able to get down there. I mean, before that, they had to have something to get down there to drill before they got.
Said,
like how did they get to that room first?
No, but even before they would, right, they had to get down there to that first place where they built it.
Exactly. Yes.
There was a paragraph that said, Coalheart changed the landscape. It allowed us to build more and greater machines that dug deeper than we had ever before. And then it was because they dug deep that they initially found vampirism. Right. So they probably, this was
in the kingdom.
The different place in the kingdom, but they were probably all digging downward.
And because they found that coal, they called that stone named after him, right? Because they found that stone that helped power it, the crystals.
Yeah. So based on your 18, what you find is nothing directly about the machine that you haven't already found out. You flip back farther in the book, or earlier rather, in the book, and you do find a quick note about the mine carts and the mine cart tracks. That, and if you think back, you remember seeing mine cart tracks that ended at the main shaft. But he talks about the mine carts that descend down in needing some repairs. It's like an offhand remark, but I mean the mine carts you saw didn't go very far.
So then it was stuff that they had already dug, and those mine carts just fell apart over time because no one was there to repair them, and they would have had ways to get down. Is that what that means?
There is no track. Once the big tunnel happens, the track stops. So this still leaves me with, so that makes us think like they must have already had a tunnel and some carts to get down to this room. But then why would they use the drill to go
make a whole drill to go
instead of just going down? Like, why is this not the end dug tunnel until the room where the drill was built and then the drill tunnel?
Well, maybe they had to push the dirt somewhere. I mean, you can't just.
Yes, where is the dirt? That is a lot.
How old is Floros as a city?
How big is Floros?
How old is Floros?
Floros, as you know it, is, and kind of thriving under kind of the conglomeration of lots of different species and peoples, is a couple hundred years old. But the bones of the city are older. Like there have been ships that have come out. The lighthouse in particular is kind of regarded as one of the oldest structures. So this has been a port for a while.
Did there always used to be big hills and levels to Floros from its inception? Because
I've never been around here right before. I've never been around this area.
No, you're new to this area. Yep.
Okay. So what up? It's not that old. Well, I mean, so I guess what you're thinking is that maybe they so you're thinking maybe the vampires got a hold of the machine and drilled up and got out? Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah, like you have to put it somewhere. Maybe we should look at an old history of the city.
If none of you mind, I'm going to open up the lights again. It's very dark.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As you're throwing
all of us can see in the dark.
That's true. Malachite, have you had your goggles down?
Peony and Malachite goggles on.
Because you need them too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, I like the idea that perhaps the dirt and stone were used in the city somehow, but it still does not explain why they would back the drill up. Did they like?
Well, what if they made it first, and then what if they're like, hey, we got the drill, let's make it easier to get up and about. And so what if they went up first and then went down, if that makes sense?
They
Maybe.
still have to
mean-
get parts maybe down there repaired.
Oh well, so the
But you're
other
right
thing
though.
is like, why is this big, right? If they just wanted to sort of lock everyone away down there, then they could have made any kind of tunnel, right? Are they in a box or something?
Well,
And
how
they
many?
pushed it, like, why, why is the tunnel so big and why did it come all the way up to the surface?
It'd
Is
be
there
really
a
hard to seal
reason?
off.
Oh.
They didn't just dump all the individual people down that all, right? Like,
And it's not like they could have just stayed down there because I feel like they can, with their affliction, they have means
Climb,
to.
fly.
right. So
yeah.
are they encased in something that is this size, and that is why they needed their drill and why they needed to drill up to the surface at
I
that
mean,
diameter?
I
Maybe
would
they just need to-
assume that. I mean, can vampires fly?
I think we,
I think we
yeah,
read about it because
Yeah.
yeah, I think we,
Or they can climb with their claws.
Yeah.
something
so they have
can
to be
figure out.
contained some way.
and that means it might still be.
So maybe it came to the surface because that was easier than trying to shuffle them through all these tunnels to get down to where it originally was. And so they had to go back up. I mean, and then could go down from there. And it's probably easier to have a wide tunnel to take lots of people because they're taking like everyone like
Right.
down rather than a thin, skinny tunnel that you don't have to push and shove.
Right, but I was trying to think it seems strange to make this big a tunnel and just dump all of the individual people over the edge of the cliff, right? Like, what if they add them in some sort of capsule or container? And
Maybe the drill
Those-
had that in it.
perhaps, yes.
Maybe we should go study this. Now that we know that it's a drill, maybe we can look at the way the mold fits together and see if we can get an idea for like a small scale, like what it would look like.
Also, how feasible is it that we could just go down the hole?
Yeah, I was gonna say the way to see what's
I
down
could-
there and what
I could
the
never,
drill
but
looks
yes,
like
but
is-
that's. Are you guys willing to do?
Go
I
down
mean,
there.
but what?
Why not?
You
We'd have
guys
to
don't need to
prepare.
though. But this is you guys. There's no need for you guys to do like. I want to, but why risk yourselves though? I mean,
Because we have to know. Because
Yeah.
other people want to know. And we don't trust them with the information. We are the only people we know who we can trust with it.
And if he digs all the way down, and if for some reason they're not like, in a box or encased in something, then they just pull the plug on, a big cavern that's full of vampires who are all super duper hungry, and then we all die.
we're giving him the drill. I
Well,
thought we
no,
were
he
gonna-
wants us, but he wants us to
Yeah.
build the drill.
He thinks it's
Like,
a weapon.
Yeah.
So
I know, but
we,
Well, he wants us to get the forge running. That's all
Yeah.
that's all we
No,
agreed
Yeah,
to.
he
Our
wants us to
contract says he wants
build
us to build the thing. We have
Yeah.
to
Oh.
deliver it. Yes.
so we have to
So he wants
build
another
it.
drill?
But he doesn't know
want
what
the
it
drill.
is.
Doesn't know what it
He
is.
thinks it's a weapon.
Yeah, we didn't tell him.
Oh,
What a dummy.
Like
that brings up a really good point. We should probably not be around when you talk to that person again, Crocus.
Oh,
Because part of the contract is that we have to tell him
What we know.
what we
what we
find
learn.
out,
Yeah.
what we learn. So it is kind of good that the machine is the way it was phrased.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my brothers at arms went feral. He did not actually give away information in a way that any of us would have to tell him what we found out before signing the contract. But we do not want to find out things that we are then obligated to share.
I'm sorry. That's right. I just
Oh, no, you do
Couldn't
not
think
have
of
to
doing it
apologize.
alone.
I did not think about it.
Hmm.
We don't want you to have to do things alone either, but we do not want the bad people to have this information.
Or to get leverage over us.
Mm-mm.
it's just so it's
Peony.
hard. I mean, it's just crazy. Just my. It's hard
I
to
mean-
fathom like a. So sorry, keep going.
Esther can always hang out with you while you do stuff, and then you can both tell us what we can know. That way you don't have to be alone.
Peony and Malachite.
Pendleton's.
With the highest passive perceptions of the group. What are y'all making faces for?
24, baby.
As you're having this conversation, there's a moment all of a sudden where you kind of have to rub your eyes a little bit, but like, because you're not believing it at first, but all of a sudden, like everybody around you, like everybody's talking and moving, and you're like, can I see through them? Like there's this weird sense of translucency to everybody around, and even the like items, like all of a sudden, like the table looks slightly transparent, like and whatnot. And so you two notice this first. It's very, very subtle.
Wait, who's who two? I think Malachi.
Peony and
right?
Malachite.
Peony and Malachite. I'm giving you a chance to respond to this first because you have the higher passive perceptions.
Can Peony like slap a hand on the table? Does it connect?
It does. It does connect, but there's a squishiness to it.
Something weird's going on.
Look over. Can I make an active check for perception to
You
see?
can.
Is this...
and I would say that as they mentioned that, the rest of you start to like, it's dim lit. It's hard to see, but like you're starting to notice this weird like kind of phasing of people.
Azure?
Artemis?
Yes, I'm noticing it too. This is strange.
Can
Everybody's voices sound just slightly echoey. Like
Can I peek out the window?
is
You said there were a lot of
Grocus-
like windows and doors and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
There
am
are,
I
yeah.
like that too?
Is Grocus like that?
Yep.
Okay.
And as
Okay.
you all
Can
start to
I
look,
wanna-
you're noticing this
Yeah.
amongst each other.
I want to look out a window.
Is
Okay.
this what happens with drugs? Did something? Is this a pastries? Oh my gosh! I've never. Is this what it's like?
Any drug I've
no.
tried.
Panic attack.
I made a 26 active
Okay.
perception.
Yeah,
to
I
just
mean,
look.
just like I said, everything's semi-translucent.
no
and as you-
extra person in the place or anything.
In this place, in this immediate area, no. Pride, make a perception check as you look out the window.
Oh, good. An 8.
An 8.
Oh gosh!
You look out the
Wait,
window.
that's right. I don't have a.
And the sun is
yeah, an
very
8.
bright. And
Oh,
it kind of
good.
blinds your eyes at first. And as you rub them, you just see lots of people walking about, talking. Everything's a little blurry, hard to tell. It's been about 2 minutes of this, and all of a sudden you all hear this loud snapping sound, as if like a tree branch cracked, but like right in your ear, all of you. And you blink, and everybody looks normal.
Artemis, have you ever seen that kind of magic before? Have you ever seen
Artemis,
that
sorry,
kind
I
of
blanked because I was waiting for Dana to answer, and Dana's not here.
I thought you were drinking for dramatic effect.
No, sorry, I was totally blank. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Artemis tonight. Artemis kind of go, well, hold on, let me roll a d20 for Artemis.
And I have a question, depending on her answer.
Artemis goes, I'm not seeing that in particular, but with it affecting everything around us, did we just have a plane shift? It's been a while since I've seen one.
That is what I was wondering.
Can Peony stick her head out the window?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
We like
as
Scooby
you-
Doo stack where I'm looking.
as you kind of look, as you all start to all look out the window and like adjust your eyes to the light, you can see people who are stopped in the road and kind of like looking around them, confused and like talking to each other, and like you even hear like a
Did you
see that? Somebody did it to the whole fucking city. Okay.
Well, it doesn't have to be a somebody, but yeah.
Who?
It probably is somebody though.
Ever since the thing 27 years ago with the dark wizards, blah blah
shit.
blah,
Yeah,
it just kind of happens too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
Can I
so
look up?
if we're from this area, so people from this area are used to this kind of thing. If we're not from this area, this would be something we're not.
No,
From
I
the
mean
whole
for all of
kingdom.
you
The whole
growing
kingdom,
up,
okay.
there have been
Yeah.
plane shifts throughout your life.
Okay.
They got more
Oh.
frequent leading up to the cracking of the sky, and since the cracking of the
Mhm.
sky, they've actually been very infrequent.
How old was the cracking of the
Peony
sky
looked
again?
27 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah.
Can
So-
Peony look up? at the sky?
have the ability.
Is the how does the crackle,
Smart
the
aleck.
snap crackle pop of the sky look?
Look, I can be a smart
Ooh.
aleck with Darby. She gives me shit every game.
That's true.
Make a survival check for me if you would, since we're
Ooh.
dealing with the nature element. And
I am
Oh,
younger.
God.
I am younger than the cracking of the sky. I don't know how everybody else
Oh my
compares.
god, you're a baby.
Yeah, she's only like 20.
I think
Yo,
Peony's like
I'm-
2 years older than the cracking in the sky.
Yo, I'm
Yeah,
a little,
Grokus.
I'm a
You're an
little,
old man.
I'm a little ways away from that. So just no one's in the math, so we're good though.
25.
What
at
did you say,
25,
Casey?
Uh-huh.
you don't notice any changes in the cracks that were previously there. They've not gotten larger or shifted or changed. So Azure just kind of shrugs.
Sky's okay.
She's like, not the strangest shift I've ever seen, and just goes about her day.
When you say infrequent, like how many would Pry have experienced in her life since she's entirely post crack?
7?
Total?
Mhm.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they used to
many
be
of-
a couple times a year, and they've changed to being
Yeah.
like one every few years.
Okay, but the couple times a year was prior to the
Yeah,
big
that was-
catastrophe,
yeah,
or okay.
yeah.
But we would know that.
I mean, there's records of it. Yeah, this is a highly recorded. For any of you who are in the libraries, so Malachite and Pry
Yeah.
specifically, even Uranus actually, just with stories being told and kind of the way the bards will spin kind of this stuff into their things, like like the whole cracking of the sky was a massive like event, and since then the frequency dropping off of plane shifts has been something of note.
Huh.
Oh,
I don't suppose. Does anyone here journal? Perhaps we should keep track of things.
Peony starts scribbling in the journal. It's like a cup of Jello, and then the words like everything else, like
yes,
this.
D&D Jello.
Dello, yeah.
well, at least we know that's normal. At least, I mean, at least they're more infrequent now, I guess. So, kind of weird. Oh, before I forget, could I have you all do something really quickly? If you ever could just sign this paper, put like a little quill pen. There's a key for Dwarvish. If you can sign your name, please. And like I said, this isn't for not binding anyone's soul or any blood or anything else like that. Just regular ink will suffice.
Sign.
While you are deciding whether or not you're going to sign Grokus's paper, and doing so, Uranus, you feel all of a sudden like a slug on your shoulder, like someone punches you. Semi hard, not like super hard, but hard enough to sting. And you just turn around and you see Azure standing there with a grin, and she's got a couple of like wooden training swords, and she's like, "You coming?"
Yeah.
She like
Ooh.
throws one at you, so like you have to catch it real quick.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are you guys going to be off to? What are you guys going to do? Ooh.
Little training, little sparring.
All right. So she leads you kind of off, and you all can see kind of the area where they have like some sparring dummies up and everything. And she begins to lead you through some forms and kind of get an idea of where your skill level's at. Some of it is, she's like, kind of complimenting you on, okay, those are good strikes. She'll throw out terms every once in a while that not being, trained in the sword you're not familiar with, and she'll kind of explain, okay, when you move your foot like that, it's called this, etc. But yeah, I would say that you can spend the next little while training with her, and that will mark off one of your training checks that we talked about.
Can't talk about training checks with me. I want to train this up. Just kidding.
Just for
Well, I do
funsies,
actually have an
go
idea.
ahead and roll a it's an interesting check, actually. Let me check something.
Gotta check the check.
Okay. I do have to check the check, yes. Go ahead and roll, roll an athletics check for me.
Ooh, okay. I don't think I'm very athletic.
Well, I'll say athletics or acrobatics, because this is kind of tied to your fighting style.
Do acrobatics. That is better. 18.
18. Okay. You incorporate some grace into the training where she just kind of is looking for brute force, and kind of transpose some of her moves into ones that fit you better. Take a second checkbox. That's a really nice roll. This is a really good training session for you. So it gets you 2 checks.
Sweet.
All right. So while he's doing that, are you all signing the paper?
Mm-hmm.
And I promise I'll explain. Like I said, there's no secrets. Just if you can sign it, like I said, the dwarvish key is right there. So
Pry signs in like very fancy, like practiced calligraphy, and then looks up at like especially like Crocus and Artemis and is like, not to keep harping on this, but do either of you have any idea what planes that could have been?
would I know what plane?
Roll an Arcana check. Artemis will roll one as well. Artemis does not know.
Can I give Artemis help? What I mean, because I feel like well, I guess I'll roll it. Let's see. Arcana.
I have a pretty good Arcana.
Go for it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not a good roll.
11.
11. No, it's not. It's not ringing a bell for anybody right now.
Forget I asked.
It's definitely a plane. I know we're
a little weirded out by it.
At least we did not wind up underwater.
Could have.
So the Shadowfell, it's fine.
Fine.
It's all
Shadowfell
gray.
would have known it. Y'all be running for your lives right now if it was the Shadowfell.
Oh boy. Wow.
Vampires would escape.
Exactly. Okay, so yeah, Grocus, you have now a paper with everybody's signatures in dwarvish runes, some with more flair than others, some a little more scrawled, but each one unique to that person.
Mine is very meticulous.
Oh,
Perfect lines. All the letters the
Yes.
same size.
Dwarfish is immaculate. Scrawled in common next to it.
Oh, thank you. You're just
I'm hacked to
your
say
comment. Your
the P
comment's
is
looking
backward.
good. But everything else looks pretty good though. Good job though. You're getting it though. It looks really, really well. Peony.
He is
Good
backwards
job.
is a nice touch. That's a very real thing. Yep.
It's just a cue.
Queenie.
Well, yeah. So I just, like I said, it's one of this. I guess I'll tell him once we gets back to. I don't know. I'm feeling a little more adventurous, and I think I may get a tattoo on my back, and what I want it to be is a scale with my name on the right side and all of your names on the left, keeping it balanced. And then over top, I want to put here I kind of pull out this little kind of sketch, like the actual sketch I kind of had an idea for, kind of pull that out. So above it can kind of arch to say like a balance, and underneath it will say life underneath the scale. I don't know, I've never had anything like that before, and I feel like you guys are the ones who kept me balanced the past week. So I like to remind her of that just on my back at all times, just knowing that even you guys aren't there, you guys are still with me.
Because we got your back.
Mhm.
He's just gonna.
I heard you should never get tattoos of names in case you ate the person later on.
I need to just cross them off, I guess. Like eliminated.
even if like sometimes we do get mad at each other, but even then like that it doesn't last. I mean, it's a part of the balance. Like you get mad, you forgive, you come back. So the scale will always come back, no matter if something happens. It will always, with you guys, to know that it'll always come back to being balanced. So yeah. Just got to find a tattoo parlor. I haven't been to one, so I don't know which ones are good. Do any of you guys have tattoos?
No.
I have
Artemis just
stars
kinda
that had
covers
dirt
her
in them.
arms a
Does
little
that
more.
count?
Yeah.
Artemis, you can take me. So I
Oh,
just asked because you'd be a good judge, just so you know where I can find a good one. That's all.
I have a
Mm.
couple, but I've not gotten them here. I don't know what would be good in the city.
Oh. Well, at least can just get your opinion. Like, you maybe get like a vibe. I mean, since you've gotten one, at least you kind of would know. You don't have to, but
I'm not
it's
really
asking
part
for
of
help
the
from old door, but
scene,
it's fine.
but I'll do my best.
Okay. Okay. That's all I can ask.
I'm assuming some of the people that I made friends with in Excessa might have had. Would I know anything about how this works or how to judge quality?
I mean, there's tattoo parlors, and
Well, I meant
there-
like the people I met after dark, as it were.
Sure.
like,
I mean, it's
yeah.
you know, a lot of those were being done kind of in back alleys and
By
like,
themselves, yeah.
Yeah, well, by themselves or
Cool.
whatnot. So as far, I mean, you
We get
could
this
probably ask around and find him, you know, some back alley tattoo
yeah.
artist.
Great.
But you don't know a whole lot about
Just
it.
Azure.
A back alley for your back tattoo. It's
That sounds safe. That's
It becomes a tramp stamp,
Oh my
like
God.
tattoo.
I've been imagining this as a tramp stamp the whole time.
Oh,
that's what it
yes.
was. That's cool, right?
With
You
all
put
the
it on the
names
lower
on
back,
each
right?
cheek.
Yeah, yes, lower back. Perfect. Yeah.
And a back piece takes like hours too. Perfect.
Days sometimes.
Yeah, it
I don't think
depends.
he's getting it in color, is he?
Oh, no.
It depends on how much detail he's
That's
doing.
true.
It's just line work. It should be pretty
I
quick.
do want it to look nice. I mean, I don't want it to be like, you know, like my scribble. So, but I'll find some. I'll ask around. But
You were asking if Azure would know. I mean, she's
oh yeah,
finishing up
We're in
training
for
with
people like in
Ronis
the
at the
people
moment.
here.
And yeah, Ronis is like one more, and like she gets you right on the clavicle, and it stings a little bit. But then she looks down, and you've got yours right underneath her ribs. And she kind of gives you a nod of respect, and then kind of pulls away. She's like, "Yeah, not everything will translate perfectly to your weapon because that's a little bit of a different shape, but hopefully this helps."
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. I feel better about it already.
All right. Well, I'm going to get some water. She wipes some sweat off and kind of throws her stick or her wooden sword kind of in the ground in the sawdust nearby. And starts to head back.
Yeah, but they can be for so. But that's the only thing I did. That's all I had though. So, so yeah. So if you have any free time, that's what I want to be doing in later on. But what else should we be before that? Is there anything else we need to be? So we know we have a little more information. And at least we do have 10 more days. We can ask some more questions. Well, I'll ask more questions by myself. 10 more days. So we still have a little time for that.
I would love to go back to that magic shop and see about getting that sponsorship and whatnot. Because I think we're gonna need some stuff for whatever's down there. Yeah. So I mean, I'm down for whatever anybody else would want to do too. So
Does
Maybe
anyone have any of the basilisk or the roper stuff that might help you with the negotiation for the sponsorship?
It's on the
we
ground.
didn't get any roper stuff. We forgot.
We didn't. I thought Peony put it. Okay.
We pieced out.
We left like immediately.
All right. Well, it sounds like we might be splitting the party here. So let's go ahead and go around and just kind of name our intentions, and then I can kind of run scenes individually as needed. Who all is going to the tattoo parlor? I will say that Artemis will join you, Grokus.
Wow. Bye. Grokus will remember that.
I mean, did you
all these
want any of
names-
us to come with you? Like,
I'll
No,
go
it's
with
fine.
you if you want me to come.
Oh,
with.
no. You guys have things to do. It's fine. But I do want to go, Brian, if you want to go to the library though, because I do want to see if there's maybe any idea maybe vampires could be cured somehow, or I don't know. I mean, it's,
maybe.
I don't want to just have to, I mean, if I have to, we'll definitely help them move along to where they need to rest. But if there is a way to kind of cure them, I just want to make sure that, I don't know, find all the options too before just, but yeah.
I wonder if that strange person who gave Artemis the book he seems like he knows things that other people don't. So I don't know if he would be a good person to ask. He seems rather eccentric, and I know we want to keep this under wraps, but it is a thought. If he's still at the library or Paige knows where he went, perhaps he could help.
It's a great idea.
He did give me his card, and Artemis kind of holds up
Oh,
a little thing. There's no contact information on it, but I have an idea of how I should use this.
oh,
Lovely.
interesting. Well, and I mean, also you can do like the
Sending.
brain message.
That
Yeah.
too.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes. All right.
Well, that's
so
all I have.
So Grokus and Artemis are going to Tattoo Parlor. Pry, you're going to the library.
I was Grokus suggesting I go by myself, or was that like a
Oh, I was gonna
several
go
of
with
us
you.
later thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a
Okay.
later thing.
All right,
Yeah.
What are we doing right now? We got lots of different ideas here. What is the party doing right now? Is everybody going one direction, or are we splitting?
I would like to go to the magic shop.
Okay, magic shop for Aranis. Anybody going with him?
I will, because I have the party purse
Okay,
and
so-
stuff. Yeah.
Aranis and Pry going to magic shop. Malachite, what are you doing?
You're
Oh,
muted.
You're muted.
He's been talking this whole time.
Malachi.
I'm going to ask Peony what she wants to do.
I wanted to go look at the forge, and
Oh, yeah.
kind of go examine that and see if we could maybe scrounge up some coal hearts somewhere. Oh, the fucking beach! That's right! Just scrap all of that. Peony just grabs Malachite by the shirt and it's like, I want to go to the beach.
Well, I mean, we did go to the water.
I
remember?
want to go to the beach.
Okay, all right.
That's like going to the in front of the bakery.
Pretty sure you went
and
to the
say we
beach
went to the
already.
bakery.
Yeah, we did go to the
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
we
but
went to
the-
the beach.
It wasn't the day we went like kind of sad and subdued though.
was-
Like I feel like
I
it was
mean-
really awkward.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but she
Yeah,
she
Grogus made it
swam
kinda
around in the
awkward.
water.
Oh, that's true. I did swim. Oh,
animated
God.
the fish for her and all that
Yep.
stuff.
Time is
It was a
fake.
great
we
time.
did catch fish. Never mind.
Yeah.
Scrap that again. We're going to the forge. We're going to the forge. The
Wait, but
original
that
thought
makes
was
more
the
sense.
correct thought. We're
But
going to the forge.
do you guys want to go alone though? I mean, that seems a little dangerous. I mean, do you guys want to?
There's nothing
It's not
dangerous at the
there's nothing
forge
dangerous in the
anymore.
forge.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay. But are you guys gonna just climb down? Because if Artemis is going with me, but okay. it's
I mean, we
fine.
go. The forge you can walk down. We just chose
but
to
the
avoid
workers-
all the
workers
guard
are there,
places.
and like they
Oh,
will
they'll get him. Okay.
get you harnessed
Take
up
him
and
down.
drop you if you ask,
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be good.
Oh.
or you can climb.
Walk down.
Wait, I mean, oh, they dropped. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I
There's- I mean,
understand
they're
now.
getting down, so they can bring you down on the same ropes and pulleys. So, all right.
Yep.
So, the party makes preparations and splits 3 different directions. We will start with. I'm gonna roll a d6 to see who we start with.
Aren't there 3 groups?
Type that in. Yep.
Mhm.
So
Oh, I see
1,
1, 2. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. So that actually
we have
starts
no
us-
idea who you were pointing at. He
Just-
just
I know.
Just
so
have one of
we
these.
actually start with Peony and Malachite as you
Ooh.
all
No.
leave Realm Shield and traipse back to the opening of the mine. Foreman is there, various workers are there. That woman gnome who is filling in for Patrick is still manning kind of the papers at the entrance. Are you just kind of headed straight down, or are you talking to anybody on your way in?
Just give him a little.
They give you a nod and
Finger
kind of
guns.
step out of the way. Yep. They do not return the finger guns. No, they look away very quickly. Yeah, so if you want to be let down by them in harnesses, you totally can. They will kind of facilitate getting you down to the level you want to be at. I'll say without too much trouble, you end up back in the forge and are able to start investigating. So, as you now kind of look at this big, great, empty room, still lit by those coal heart lamps that are kind of all the way around, where do you want to start?
Hmm. I've already investigated this to some extent, right?
You have, and a couple things you remember. Everything's laid out kind of sequentially, starting with like smashing and grinding up raw materials all the way to like the final enchantments. You also did find that one machine where you looked inside and saw the 1,000-tooth titanium corkscrew gear needed for the construct down in Grispin Hills. However, you know that removing that will cause this machine to not work. And that's one of the machines along the way. So yeah, you also know that there are magical enchantments within the forge itself, or the furnace itself, that cause the fire to spew and power the entire thing.
Okay. Hmm.
You know, if they used coal heart to make this machine, maybe we should try and, I mean, can Peony take one of the sconces off and stick it in the furnace?
You could certainly try, yeah. You kind of go up to it. They are kind of bolted into the wall. They're pretty strong in there. So you need
What are
to
you,
move them
Peony? Are
somehow.
you trying to get some fire in there or
I
what?
wonder if, because their machines were powered by coal heart, we were trying fire spells, but maybe it's just a piece of coal heart that they shoved in here. If it turns on with this tiny piece or even reacts a little bit, maybe that's a start.
So there's coal heart in the
And the
sconces?
sconces, yeah.
They're made of coal heart. They're carved.
Okay.
They're less raw, like the coal heart that everybody had found in Grispin Hills. But yeah.
Well, yeah, let's try to get that thing off there. Can we like
Tools.
unscrew it, or
Yeah, make
Do you remove the-
make a tinker tool check just to so dex plus proficiency, just to kind of find the pieces and the screws and get it all undone if
I
possible.
give assistance to
You can,
Malachite
yep.
since I also have Tinker Tooth.
You can, so with advantage, Malachite. Yay, 2 artificers. And only artificers.
that'll be 17.
17. There's not, yeah, it's tricky because there aren't just like screws that are bolted into the wall and make it real easy. You do find some seams and use your tools to kind of pry them apart, and eventually you're able to break it off. If you so choose, you realize you could break it off, but you're going to be breaking it. You're not going to be removing it.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and break it off.
Okay. Snaps off in your hand. And now you have kind of the iron bits with the coal heart that's kind of locked in there. It continues to glow. The enchantment doesn't stop just because it's off the wall.
Yeah. So I'll put it in the whatever that is, forge part.
Okay. You
Furnace?
lay it in
The
there.
furnace, yeah.
Yep. You lay it in there, and you do watch as you put it in there, the runes that are carved into the metal of the interior of the furnace that like constitute all those spells, essentially like spell scrolls, but more like spell plates. They, especially the ones closer to the coal heart, glow ever so faintly. No fire begins to erupt, but the runes inside the furnace seem to react a little bit. And again, more towards the center, and then it gets dim as it goes out.
Well, where can we find coal heart?
Has Peony ever come across coal heart?
You have not. You did not see any of it in the mine or the ruins in the woods. That being said, as you look at the sconce and you're working with it and helping him, you do remember seeing lots of empty sconces, empty kind of places for torches. And your assumption at the time had just been, oh, there was a torch that was placed here, or a burning, candle or something. But it kind of resembles where the coal heart would have gone.
So maybe they took all the coal heart from all the other places that they could and used it elsewhere. But why is there still some left in here? Unless this was the last place.
Yeah. Weird.
Anywhere else while we were exploring down here, were there any other like empty sconces as well?
Make a history check. There's also lots of other sconces still lit up with coal heart here in this room if you wanted to steal more of those.
Yeah.
So just an FYI, you have that resource available to you.
History 10.
Hard, yeah, you weren't really paying attention for it, so it doesn't jog your memory.
Could we want to try some more pieces? Because it's reacting. Maybe it just needs a bigger piece.
Maybe. Does
Or
would I
fire?
know if heat would do anything to coal heart?
You've not worked with this material yet, so you don't have
I'm just
basis of
gonna
knowledge.
I'm gonna shoot a firebolt at it.
Okay. You hit it with a firebolt. How close are you?
I'll back up a little bit first.
Okay, see him, my fucking
I'm not
face
gonna
is just
I'm not gonna be standing looking into
Sure.
it. I'm gonna stand back
We'll be safe. We'll be fine.
So the furnace
maybe
door is
10
open,
feet or so.
so that
Malachi
you
comes
can
back
shoot
about
through it.
eyebrows.
And it is. How much did you say you were away? 10 feet.
Maybe like 10 feet.
Okay. You shoot a firebolt out, and it through the furnace door, and it hits the coal heart, and you immediately hop back another 5 feet as a burst of flame comes rushing out at you, way more than what your firebolt should have provided. Peony, from a little bit more of a distance, you watch this happen, but you also watch flame travel up and disappear into those two pipes that go up from it. And all of a sudden, you hear the machines on both sides
Fuck yeah.
like whir and begin to move. You remember when Artemis had shot some firebolts up through, that one machine on one side moved. The first 3 stations of machines on both sides power up, and the fire continues, and you can't get close enough in order to close the door. But it continues to burn. And you wait for it to go out, and it doesn't. Now the furnace is
it
open.
doesn't go out.
And it's getting hot in here because the flame is pouring out of the furnace as well.
Can Peony run up and slam the furnace door shut?
You will be running through fire to do so. It is a completely in that area.
Can I use like a shield to give her a little?
The spell shield.
like-
Is that only on myself?
I
it's on
think
myself.
shield-
so I'll-
shield, yeah. Shield is a self thing. I have something. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
We've had a long rest, right?
You have, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I had 17 hit points. Okay. I'm
Okay.
fine. Just run up and slam it.
Okay.
And
Make a dex. Well, no, I'm not gonna say you don't get a dexterity save because you're actively going in with grabbing that, like it's not like something where you're dodging anything. So
I can use absorb elements to redirect some of it.
you
though.
can. So that is totally doable. You're going to take from the fire.
At second level.
You're going to take 17 points of fire damage.
Oh, pitch posh. Okay.
And then from grabbing
God for
the
that
door,
long
which is
rest.
currently superheated,
Oh, there it is.
you're going to take, hold on.
2d6. We're definitely.
Your hands
gonna-
get stuck to it. It's so hot. Just melt
Oh,
onto it.
God.
No. Oh, that's gruesome. You're going to take another 11 points of fire damage from grabbing the door and throwing it shut.
Okay, absorb elements says that when I take damage of a certain type, which includes fire damage, I have resistance to the triggering damage until the start of my next turn. And yeah, I just gain resistance. I wonder.
So it's 28 points total. So if you
Just-
cast absorb elements, you take 14 total.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it at first level because casting it up doesn't do anything for me.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so 14 you said?
Yep, total after the absorption. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Singe. Does the shutting it help, or does it power up the entire thing? Because now
You
the
shut
heat's
it,
trapped and going up.
You shut it, and you watch as slowly the fourth level of machines starts to power up. There are about 9 levels.
Yeah.
And with the
Holy
amount of
shit.
cold heart that you put in there and the
Fucking
flames, and it's
progress.
continuing. You've powered up the first 4.
It's growing. Oh my god.
No,
oh
it seems
god.
to level
We have to
out
find
at the 4th one. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we'd have to put more in there to make it work
Yeah.
more. Okay. Is there an off switch?
Not that you found.
Oops. Just like singed a little bit. Like, okay, I can't smell anything, but let's find a thing. I don't. It smells like hair. What?
While you two are investigating and trying to figure out how to increase this, how to turn it off and on, etc., we're going to fly out of the cavern for a little bit, and we're going to head to Grokus and Artemis, who you're looking for a tattoo parlor.
Yes, and I would say too, before we took off, I would definitely pat Pry and Aratus on the back, giving them enhanced ability and giving them a what you call
Eagle Splendor.
Yes, Eagle Splendor, because like I feel like back in my day, if you show confidence is a good way to make deals. So just really be astute there, okay?
We're gonna
Yes,
get spoiled and expect this spell all the time. This is
a good
at least
spell.
twice, right? Yeah.
It's a good spell. Yeah. All right, so you enhance ability
Right.
on them, and then the two of you leave, and Artemis kind of just looks at you and goes, I told you I don't know anything about the tattoo shops or artists here. I don't even know where we're going.
That's fine. I mean, at least you'll be there. At least it's just some time just to be together. So that's fine. I mean, if you don't want to, it's fine. You don't have to be here. I mean, let's figure it.
No,
I mean,
I'm happy to
am I
come. I
that
just
lame. I mean,
I just don't have a recommendation. So
okay. Well, you just get a feel. Your opinion. I mean, I value your opinion too. I mean, your opinion's just fine. So that's all.
All right. This feels like a lot of responsibility.
I mean, I'm just gonna blame you for whatever looks terrible. And besides, just kidding. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
So we have to look at the map and see. Okay.
There's
I think it says
nothing
there's
on the
one-
map.
I don't know. Okay.
Look in the back alley.
Let's check the alleyways. Excuse me.
I
would ask someone. Oh yes, I'm definitely old. I'd be like, ask the first person I see.
You
or
turn
someone with a
and
tattoo.
you turn to the first person you see, and you catch a glimmer of recognition as turning towards you and kind of lowering their head down from their large frame. You see a Furbolg man that you recognize from a shop that you visited when you first arrived in Floros. He's got like his entire like pop-up cart on his back and is walking with it, and he kind of turns and goes, "Hey, young dwarf friend."
Oh, flattery will get you nowhere. How are you doing? I'm so sorry. I forget the name. I'm so sorry.
That discount's not available anymore, unfortunately.
Oh,
It was a limited time offer, but I've got new things every day.
well, I'll be sure to check back and see. I mean, you did have some pretty cool items. So, although was he the one with the back scratcher? Wasn't it a back scratcher? Was that the whole?
Well, that's what he was calling it.
Mhm.
It was some weird piece of dwarven metal. Yeah.
Back scratcher. Well, yes, that's I'll definitely look at more things later. But I do have a question though. Do you know where a good tattoo parlor might be?
Oh, a good one. Well, if you want quality, you're gonna want to go to Warding's on the second shelf. There's other places, of course, but you get what you pay for, if you know what I mean.
I think I do, because I mean, you want the quality to be good. So okay, well, thank you for that, and I'm gonna cast a blessing. I'm just be like, have a good day. It was good to see you again too. What was your name? I forget.
Straightens his back up a little bit, and you hear it like pop and crack, and he's like, "Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate you. Come see me soon."
Will do. But what was your name again?
Oh, my name's Brennan. Nice to see you again. And just kind of like lumbers
Thank you,
off.
Brennan. Okay, so we're going to wardings on the second shelf. All right, there we go. See, Artemis is easy. You ask and then you know.
Yes, just waiting for that other shoe to drop. Let's go.
I
don't know. I'm trying to channel Dana. She seems skeptical.
It's awesome, honestly.
Perfectly pessimistic.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully.
With a little asking around and kind of walking up and down the streets, you eventually find, not tucked into a corner necessarily, but like a row deep in the shops. You find a little building that has a sign over top in beautiful calligraphy that says Wardings. The rest of the building is not run down, but a little old and a little shabby. But the sign is beautiful, and there's a little chimney that's just puffing smoke out the top of it. And you can see the door is thrown open, and you can hear just kind of like voices inside. Sounds like one or two different people kind of talking to each other.
All right. Well, looks like we're here. I mean, that looks nice at least. I mean,
yes,
I guess it's
penmanship is very good. That bodes well.
I'm gonna get us to be like stick figures or like a really just crap. All right, let's
Right.
I guess let's go inside. Okay. So let's go inside.
As you walk in, you see a fairly small room that has kind of a divider, like a low, almost like bar height divider with a little swinging door to create two rooms. And so in this first room, there's a couple chairs, and there's art all over the walls. Very good art that is kind of like drawn and painted and whatnot. A lot of stuff about like, the sea and ships and some people. There's a lot of tabaxis that are drawn in various poses and whatnot. And it becomes apparent why very quickly, because as you look past that little divider, you see a halfling woman who is sitting on a chair with her arms kind of splayed out like this, and you can see fresh tattoo work that's been done up one arm. And working on the other arm, hunched over her, is a hairless tabaxi with kind of brown and white skin. I think I triggered something in KC.
I hate those cats so much.
With the large ears, and you can't see their face yet, but you can see all over their skin is just completely tattooed all over, and the ears are very heavily pierced. The tail has piercings as well as some rings on it, and you can, as you see them working, you just see these puffs of smoke coming out from kind of where you don't see their face yet, but you just hear this voice talking. It's like, yeah, so then I went down to the lowest shelf and found myself looking for some new inks down there, and shipment was delayed, so that's why I had to postpone your session. And you see the woman's like, oh yeah, it's totally fine, it took time, but it's fine, it's worth it for the quality. And then she's kind of like, oh, I think you've got some guests. And you see him turn around.
I whisper Artemis, like, ooh, maybe get a piercing too, like like a lip piercing or something. I don't know. I mean, God. Is that weird for an old dwarf? I don't know. Well, let's cover the tattoo.
As the face whips around, you see a tabaxi person with piercings on the eyebrow and the nose and everything, and the smoke is coming from a pipe that they're holding in their mouth. And they just kind of look around like wild-eyed at you. It's like, yeah, I'm in the middle of a session, but if you want to hold on just a minute or two, I'll be with you.
Oh, okay. Yes, that'd be, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Lovely work too. Looks really good. Looks
thank you.
Really good too,
Thank you. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm right in the middle of a tricky pot here.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, of course.
All right. And kind of goes back and works, and you wait about 15-20 minutes.
Stands awkwardly in the same place. Just like moves, just awkwardly just stands same place. It's like, okay, well.
After about 15-20 minutes, they kind of lean back, and you see them kind of assessing. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for today. You're gonna have to come back to get the rest of it finished. And she's like, oh, totally. It looks wonderful. Thank you so much. It's like, right. They pay up, and the kind of the halfling woman leaves, kind of tenderly holding her arms away from her side so they don't rub with all the fresh ink. But the tabaxi kind of finishes counting out money and everything, kind of muttering to themselves, and then comes up towards you. Right, what can I help you with? Welcome to Wardens, by the way.
Hi, Wardens, and what is your name?
My name's Second Chance. Nice to meet you. What are your names?
Hi, Second Chance. I am Grokus. This is Artemis. We come here I've come here today to get a tattoo. I kind of show them
what
the
most
sketch
people come here for, yeah.
Oh. Ooh,
No, I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you. You look like the type that did in your first one done. So a little joke.
No, this isn't. I mean, it's okay. Well, yeah.
He points to Artemis. You look like you've got some experience. I'm just playing with your friend here.
Oh, I mean, I look have experience. Okay, well,
different type. Never mind. Wrong. We got off on the wrong pod here. My name's Second Chance. Your name's Grokus. Very happy to have your business. What can I do for you?
I show her the idea that I have. So I was thinking about getting this on my back. I'm obviously a lot better. Their signature has been obviously,
Yeah, I've done signature work. You want me to clean it up at all, or you want it just kind of as it is, sentimental value and all that?
As it is. Yeah, I'll take it as it is.
They begin sketching everything kind of on another paper that you can see that they're adding curvature and they're adding kind of like, the way it's going to actually be on your back and kind of laying things out. You see them rearranged where some of the names are in order to make them fit kind of along the scale. And they work kind of furiously for a few minutes before kind of showing you something like this.
Oh, wow.
And it has,
I mean, I guess
all the runes are shaded and blocked with like little cracks in them to make them look like they're like pieces of stone.
Oh my gosh, that's even better than like I'd be speechless. I'm like, wow, that is yeah, that's better than what I had in mind. You are a true artist.
Well, that's good. Good. No, I'm glad you like it. It's gonna be a bit of a. I got time, but it's gonna take a little while. It's not a small piece.
Artemis, you don't have to stay the whole time. I mean, I really appreciate you going with it, but I know you have other things you need to be doing. So, but I appreciate you just going with me. That was more than enough. So, like I said, you're free to.
No, I would like to stay and watch if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, I would appreciate that. Okay, yes, if you want to, if you want, that's fine.
They open up the little door and let you kind of back in. Like, all right, sit in the chair there. You're gonna be face down. You're gonna take all that. Are you wearing your armor and stuff, or just your?
No problem. It's my robes because I know we're gonna have for. So, of course, the robes on.
Yeah.
Okay, Artemis, don't make fun of my jelly rolls. Okay, I could work down a bit, so kind of take off shirt, and you see like a whole bunch of like because Grogus is older, so like you see like what used to be muscle, but kind of like the flap kind of over because he's like aged a lot, and so but the remnants is like a hint of muscle.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Is this gonna be kind of painful at all? I mean,
no, you won't feel a thing.
It's a needle,
it'll be totally fine.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Awesome. I'm gonna give him bless too because I already used enhanced ability, so I'm gonna bless instead.
Okay.
So it's bless.
They take a pencil and they begin sketching it out on your back.
That tickles. Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna want to hold still. Trust me.
Okay.
Best you can. And then at one point they kind of finish up and they stop and they go, right, so standard tattoo or something with magical properties?
Oh, and how much? Wait, how much is this going to cost you? By the way, I'm sorry, but how much? I mean, I've got it, but
the tattoo as it is going to cost you 20 gold pieces. But if you want it to be magical, that's going to range from maybe 75 up to a couple thousand, depending on what you want done.
Oh, I do not have 70,000 or 7. I don't have that much. Could I always come back and get it added on later on?
Is that possible? Not how it works. You'd need a different tattoo that would be magically imbued.
How much gold do I even have? Hold on a second. I don't think how much this would be like up to like 70 to 1,000 gold, she said, or 100 gold, or
so the tattoo normally is going to be 20, and then for it to be magical, it's going to range from 75 up to a couple thousand, depending on what you get.
Ooh. I got plenty of magic on its own, and it's gonna be, I don't know. it's more than enough just to have it on there. So yeah, I'll skip the regular tattoo. That's good enough for me, and that's more than enough.
All right, sounds good. They pull out their equipment, which is a kind of like the manual style where it's a needle at the end of a stick, and they kind of like tap it in as they go. And go ahead and make a Constitution.
Don't. I was gonna say. I was like, you said this would hurt my trust. When the doctor lies, it's not gonna be painful at all. Constitution save.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's an 11.
An 11. Okay. They begin work, and they begin in a fleshy spot. And it stings, but it's not, too bad. There's enough padding there to, it pokes you, but it's not horrible. As they begin to work towards the spine and towards the shoulders and other places where it's a little thinner, it hurts. And you have to grit your teeth at first. And
I go into deep prayer because I know I'm doing, so I go into deep prayer to enter.
It's like self-flagellation.
The deep prayer, just like it's worth it. Sometimes I do through pain to get the balance. So
at one point you flinch and they have to be like, I get it, but you gotta hold still there. You really gotta hold still.
I'm gonna
just
grab onto like the whoever. I'm gonna grab onto like I got this. I'm gonna grab onto like a book of Enter I have and just kind of squeeze onto it as I continue. Like, come on, I can just go.
All right, cool. So it's gonna go way worse before it gets better. And continues the process. While that is happening, we're going to fly ourselves all the way up to the top shelf, where Pry and Uranus, you are arriving at Winmar's Wizarding Wonders, the premier magic store of the city of Floros. There are banners kind of flying and poppers going off and just kind of general branding, kind of hubbub and noise that seems to be perpetual with this shop. There are some folks going in and out. However, as you're kind of observing, like for how loud and like all that's going on, the foot traffic isn't very heavy comparatively. This is, people go in and look, but not many people buy. So yeah.
So what is your plan?
Well, last time I was here, I forget the guy's name, but Winmar himself wasn't here, and I was hoping that maybe he's here this time to speak to him. I don't know if we should name drop Elixio at all, if that will get us some good deals, but I just think we need some stuff before we do whatever we're going to do in the mine.
Agreed. I am going to suggest we not mention Elixio because I get the impression from the way things have been going that if he wants people to know that we are working for him, they would already know that. And if we try to use it as leverage, he will find out and then he will want other things from us. So
fair.
Wouldn't they know too? Because we were all there when what's her name was there? Oh my god, brain fart. When
Daisy
she was
May.
there, Daisy May.
Yeah,
no,
people
so
looked at her and
you guys would notice, and Daisy May's now with Elixir. Daisy May's what to call it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say anything.
All right. But I guess if Winmar is around, what was your plan for, like, what are you asking for? Or?
Well, I was gonna hopefully maybe he can give us a discount on his wares. So maybe we could promote his stuff around town and with Realm Shield and this, that, and other, and maybe the foot traffic isn't great as we can see. So, maybe we can get some stuff and not have to give an arm and a leg for it.
You look like you were making a lot of progress with Azure earlier. Perhaps we are kind of nobodies in the city, so I do not know if just being like, oh, the balancers buy my products is going to be enough for this person. But I wonder if he would be interested in some sort of promotional performance or a staged fight or something like that. because then that would establish us as adventurers for his customers.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Definitely.
Just trying to think about what would actually entice a businessman to lower his prices. It takes a lot.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm glad you're here to help.
Well, after you.
Walks on in. I forget the guy's name that was here before. Because it wasn't Winmar. But...
No, you had met a human man, a little later in his years, named Theo, that you had talked to, and you do indeed see him, kind of like basically straightening items on shelves, and you get a glimpse of him before he sees you, and he just looks very like, my God, I can't wait till 5 o'clock, like that type of vibe. But as soon as as you walk in, the little face, the stone face on the side of the door jamb, immediately comes to life. It says, "Welcome to Winmar's Wizarding Wonders. Enjoy your time." As that's the bell when folks walk in. And you see him kind of like straighten up and put on his customer service face and turn towards you. It's like, "Welcome. What can I help you with today?"
Hey, Theo, I don't know if you remember me. I was in here a few days ago.
Yes, of course,
I was wondering
sir. So good to see you again.
Yeah, I was wondering if Winmar is here today.
Master Winmar is indeed in, but he's quite busy and not available for appointment at the moment.
Not
anything
just
that I
a
can show
quick
you?
chat.
Might I ask what it is about? Are you looking for a particular item?
Well, we have a business proposition for Mr. Winmar.
I see. A business proposition. Excellent. I'll go see if he's available. And kind of whisks off. He goes up the stairs to the back room, disappears for all of 20 seconds, and comes walking back out. And it's like, "I'm terribly sorry, but Mr. Winmar is busy today. If there's a note or something you can leave, I'd be happy to take your information for you."
Sure. Aranis will write down his name. Did you actually ask if he was busy? You came back really quick.
Sir, I apologize if I come across any other way, but I am nothing but forthright.
Okay. We ain't getting shit.
Pry is gonna do the touch his arm, like ladies do when they're just going to leave and letting their companion know, right? And she's gonna leave the shop.
Okay.
Can I figure out if there's a window to that room that he stuck his head in?
You can. Yep. Go roll a investigation check for me. Or perception check, I'd say. You're just walking around looking.
Oh, good. They're both +0 because I'm dumb.
Aranis is gonna chat up Theo.
Why am I so bad at everything? I would love to roll above a 10 just once. That's a 6.
That's not how you play Dungeons and Dragons. You don't roll above a 10.
Rolling above a 10?
No one does that. Yeah, unfortunately, the way the alleys converge and the way other buildings are attached, you do see windows, but you're not making a 1-for-1 connection of okay, yeah, that for sure goes to the back room.
That's fine. She's gonna kind of make herself out of other people's notice for a moment and swap the coat around and climb the wall and start looking in windows.
Okay.
We'll just Monte Carlo our way to the solution.
It's the middle of the day, so there's not a ton of dark cover. Go ahead and roll a athletics or acrobatics check just to climb.
Okay. Somebody's got to be above a 10 eventually, right?
Actually, you know what?
Yay! What?
Well, I was gonna.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say you could climb without penalty because that's just kind of who you are. I was gonna say make it a stealth check. So if you want to use that roll for the stealth, you can.
Sure, it's going to be the same thing. I rolled exactly a 10 for anybody keeping score, so that's a 19.
A 19, that's pretty good.
Thank goodness for the modifier.
Right.
You begin climbing. While you're doing that, we'll get back to that in a second. Aranis, you're chatting up Theo. What are you saying to him?
Just asking what every single magical item does.
Mm-hmm.
Just like super annoying.
He kind of like rolls his eyes without rolling his eyes. There's like a bit of a deep sigh that's very kind of covered by his professional demeanor. But you begin walking around. He begins showing you items. He shows you a cloak of billowing. He shows you something called the Charlatan's Die. It's a little 6-sided dice. There's an item called the Pipe of Remembrance, which is kind of this long, ornate-looking pipe with lots of carvings on it. Couple other things of note. He shows you an all-purpose tool, which is kind of like a tool that becomes whatever you need it to be. He shows you a cloak that shifts color and texture to blend in with your surroundings, called Nature's Mantle. Couple other things he shows you are a sword called Shatterspike. There's a whole bowl of these little things called Beads of Nourishment, that he says if you eat one, it's the equivalent of a full day's rations. And then the last thing that he shows you is this thing called the Orb of Time, which he demonstrates being basically like the equivalent of like a clock, but very broadly, like shows you day, night, etc. But he kind of says, no matter where you're at, how far underground, how lost in the woods you are, this will always keep your time properly. So lots of varying things, in addition to little whiz poppers and kind of more gimmicky dollar shelf type items.
And do I still see the book of dexterity or whatever? And
you do. It's up in the back, kind of
anyway?
like in like a glass case that's locked.
In a glass
along
case
with some other items. Yeah.
Okay. That's where the high-end stuff is. Okay. Can I do a perception check or an investigation check to see if I see any like abjuration runes or anything like that anywhere? I was trying to
just
suss
like
out.
how warded. Are you looking for how warded the place is?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check for runes, and then if you find them, you'll have to make another check to decipher them.
Okay. Perception. Okay, that's 20. What's 18 plus 5? 23.
23. There are indeed runes carved throughout the building. Lot of them are in kind of like the edging on like a table, or like in the doorway or whatnot, and they're just built into the general kind of like carvings and filigree and whatnot of the place. It's a very ornate room. But go ahead and roll an Arcana check to see whether or not any of these runes actually mean anything.
+0.
Ooh.
15.
That's exactly what you needed in order to get some information. Not every single rune, but there are runes carved along those tables and various places where every once in a while you spot one that's like slightly deeper carved than the rest. And so like very precise and deeply carved, and it kind of stands out because they are deeper. And you kind of look and you see like, yeah, those line up with some of the abjuration stuff that that Artemis has kind of shown and used in the past, similar shapes.
Okay. Yeah, I think Aranis is just gonna thank him, and then just say, if Winmar ever gets a chance, please have him contact us somehow magically. I'm sure he can.
Yep. At this point, as you're talking to Theo, you're kind of down near the front, and you see the little gnomish man with his tall hat, brown hat, like come out of the back room and like kind of putz around and like adjust things up top. And Theo, like you can hear him. You can hear this guy, but Theo just goes, "Yes, of course. Should Master Winmar ever become available, I will let you know post haste."
Is that him right there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Winmar.
Sir, you see the little gnomish man like turn, like bug-eyed, look at you. Phil, are you giving my name out to people?
Your name's on the store.
It is, and that's what we call branding.
Yes, branding. Exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. I kind of noticed that your foot traffic is a little bit sparse.
Theo, you told me that the numbers were good this month. He's like, sir, this is not the time or the place.
Ouranis is gonna kind of just walk past Theo and say, yeah, I don't know if you've got a minute, but I was just wondering if I could talk to you about possibly increasing your revenue, if you're interested in that.
Always looking to increase revenue, of course, in at the same time upholding our values as a family company that, you know, wants to help all of those in Floros around. But if we could do that while increasing revenue, I'm all ears.
Exactly what I am about. So I just had an idea, or a friend of mine actually had an idea for kind of a promotional event where maybe we could show off some of your wares, maybe buy some off of you for maybe a little bit of a discount for our services.
Interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, maybe with Realm Shield and kind of get the word out more about.
Oh, those uncouth soldiers of fortune. I don't know about that. Well, our clientele is a little different.
And who would that be? Because I haven't seen anybody buy anything since I've been in here.
Ooh, make a. How do you want to play that off? Do you want to play that off buddy, or do you want to play that off a little sharp?
Sweet
or spicy?
Buddy.
Sweet, little sweet. Okay. Make a general charisma check for me.
Okay. General charisma.
Persuasion.
Advantage
Sorry, this
on
will
that.
fall under persuasion. Yeah.
Persuasion or charisma?
Persuasion.
An advantage. You got advantage on that.
Persuasion. Oh, I have advantage.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
We'll get to what's happening outside.
No, that's worse. So 12 plus. What's my persuasion? I think it's 10. Yeah, so 22.
22. He kind of. You've got me there, of course. It's been hard to get the right people through the door all the time. All sorts of looky-loos, but no one actually buying. It's a come. He kind of reaches his hand up. He's like little gnome, and he kind of like tries to like reach up and pat you on the back and excuse me, pat you on the back and kind of like usher you into the back room. He's like, come with me. Let's talk in the back room a little bit about this sponsorship idea that you've got. So I'm very interested to hear more.
Yeah, yes, please. Can I turn over my shoulder and kind of cough? I'm assuming Pry is still within like 120 feet.
Pry is outside and climbing the walls.
Outside within 120 feet.
Yeah, like how big is this building?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna whisper or cast message, which only I should be able to hear and heard, and just say, "I'm talking to Winmar now. Don't poke your head in a window."
You just hear like a squeak. Yeah, like because I imagine she's like partway up the wall, like hanging from a window. So,
yeah, this conversation's been going on for a while, so I would say actually, Pry, you are pretty stealthily climbing the wall and like looking in various windows. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Oh, again, why? Which dice haven't I tried?
Oh God.
The number that I rolled more than any other number.
It's a 2.
Yeah, you know it.
Yep. As you're coming in to the back room, Ouranis, and you cast this message, you look like, and your body's kind of blocking Winmar at the moment, but like you're like at the window to your left, you just see Pry's face, like, in the window as she's been peeking in. And Winmar's going to see it any second now, too, if you don't do something.
I'm going to have my cloak of billowing billow a little bit bigger just to try to obscure that and say, obviously I have some other magic stuff of my own, but I was looking to upgrade.
Yes, it is. Oh, wonderful cloak of billowing. Did you buy that here? It's kind of like trying to grab it. Can tell.
I borrowed it from someone.
Well, whoever you borrowed it from, it's not the best construction. We're gonna swap that out for you with one of the Winmar-made cloaks, of course, before you leave. And he sits you down and begins kind of schmoozing with you and starting to talk through the details of a deal. While he does that...
So he never looked through the window?
No, the cloak caught it. And
okay, so Pry's just like sort of like holding like part way on, just like
abort.
Here's Pry.
So like now she doesn't know whether to like go down and around or like stay.
Yep.
Good.
Back in the mines, Peony and Malachite, you are watching the first 4 rows of machines work and begin to move, and you can indeed see things moving and some of the machinations happening. Some of them just look to be like runes lit up and nothing's really happening at the moment. Would the two of you like to kind of investigate those a little bit more?
Yeah, I want to see how the machines move, maybe. Like, are they like trying to hammer something? Are they like try to mold something? And like take notes. If we split, we could do each take 4 on either side.
Yeah.
Why don't you each roll investigation checks for me, please?
Well, this is actually a good die, huh? Tight. I can reroll once.
25 for me.
Ooh, 25.
Yeah.
Give us the info, Andrew.
17.
Okay. The first machine very much is kind of like a processing machine. It grinds things up, bashes things up, and whatnot. And it seems to be meant for larger materials. There's a big funnel at the back of it where you can like feed rocks in and shit like that. And you know, when you look inside and you see like the hammers and stuff coming down, they're bulkier. Second machine seems to do a similar thing, but on a more granular level. It's finer. It's like breaking things down into finer components. There are sifts in there as well that, you know, will kind of help with things. You see an area where it almost looks like there should be water, kind of like helping to like sift things around, but it's currently void of any water. That would need to be added. The third machine is more for smelting. There are like these pools where you can like dump materials in and it would melt things down. You see them already heated by these like runic coils that go like through the entire machine and heat all these different like little pots and areas for materials to be smelted. Some of them are smaller, some of them are quite large and like would produce quite a bit of molten metal. The fourth machine that you see seems to be a variation of the smelter. It's somewhat of a duplicate, but with just different sizing. So it looks like these 2 different machines are kind of like, you know, getting the material melted down. The fifth machine, which is not yet lit up, looks to be the first of the molds. But no runes are lit up on that or anything. And that's where the machines start to get bigger, and some of them are very long in order to accommodate these long blade molds and whatnot. So yeah. You've kind of lit up everything through the process of getting materials broken down, but not quite yet to the point of making new materials.
Okay. Is the fire dying down at all?
Nope.
Are there any levers or controls on this thing?
There are. You in particular with that 25 looking around things, even without your knowledge of Dwarvish that Peony has. There are various knobs and controls, and they're like little levers and stuff, but each of these machines you do find one lever that's a little bit larger than the rest. that seems to be at the kind of in a similar position on each machine near the front or the beginning of the machine. Do you throw one of them or?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Yeah. You grab one of the ones for one of the smelting coils and you throw it and you watch all the runes power down. They're still glowing a little bit, but they're not glowing nearly as bright. You throw the lever back and they back up. So yeah, there are somewhat of on-off switches for all of these things too.
The machine next in the line is a switch in the same position as the one where it's lit up?
Roughly, it's not identical because the machines are shaped different and whatnot, but with a little poking about, you find either a lever or like a switch, like a big kind of like handhold switch that you can pull near the beginning of each one of these.
Can Peony shift it to the other position?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it turns things off. It stops moving. Yeah.
Okay. But the next one, is the next machine in the off or on position?
Oh, they were all on the on.
They're all on.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's definitely.
Yep.
Okay. Just start pulling off on all of them.
Just shut them all down.
Start shutting all the machines down. The fire continues to roar. Back at the tattoo parlor, Grokus, you are having yourself a time.
You're almost done.
He's like, we're about halfway through. Do you need a break?
On my no, keep going on my 100th prayer, Tanner. Keep going.
Okay, I mean, like I could use a break, so if you want to take 10.
Oh, okay. Yes, and by the time that happens, would I be able to cast enhance ability on them? Would an hour pass like between time wise, like? Because only lasts an hour, so I want to make sure
point,
I get
yeah, probably during this break,
okay.
the time would change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely give them when we come back. Make this tattoo look tight.
And yes, while you are taking a quick little break, you look over and see Artemis and Second Chance in conversation. She's got her sleeves rolled up a little bit and showing some of the work, and he's kind of looking over it and kind of talking and puffing at his pipe and pointing things, and then he starts like pointing to a spot on her arm that doesn't have anything, and you can't quite make out what they're saying, but they seem to be engaged in some sort of conversation.
I'm trying. I'm like, just like, oh.
That will be a conversation to eavesdrop in on next time when Dana returns, as I'll wait for her to give the specifics of what she's looking for.
Yes.
So,
okay.
All that said, I think this is unfortunately where we need to call it for tonight's session. And go ahead and wrap up with the party split in a lot of places and mid exploration on some things. So we'll pick back up with these conversations at Windmars and the Forge and the Tattoo Parlor next time. So thank you everybody for joining. Super fun game. Lots of just new things, some new NPCs, all sorts of fun stuff. So excited to see where the party heads next as you all started to make some real progress on your goals. But,
well, two of us did. Two other two were getting tattoos and getting deals.
Hey,
but, you know.
Important stuff. It's important stuff. All right, we'll see you next time here in Floros. Bye.